Welcome to Orca Encounter. For those of you sitting in the first 10 rows, you are sitting in the wet zone. Please be aware that the splashing saltwater can damage camera and video equipment. Thank you.
At the conclusion of our presentation, we ask that you please remain seated. Our ambassadors will dismiss each seating section in a safe and timely manner. Once again, when our presentation is over, please stay seated until your seating section is released. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to SeaWorld. Before the presentation gets started, we want to take this moment to thank you all for following our social distancing and face mask wearing guidelines. Doing so helps keep us all safe and allows us to continue sharing these animals with all of you. We also want to ask you to stay seated after the presentation, as I will be dismissing you out in an orderly fashion to adhere by these guidelines. Now please enjoy Orca Encounter!
One interconnected ocean, a vast blue expanse critical to life on Earth. And there's no better animal to represent the story of the ocean with all its splendor and uncertainty than the killer whale, or as it's scientifically known, the Orcinus orca. The orca lives in every corner of the ocean, from the Arctic to the Atlantic, the Southern to the Indian, to the mighty Pacific and beyond. This whale's story is the ocean's story, and it is one we all share.
Welcome to SeaWorld's Orca Encounter. My name is Connor, and I'm honored to introduce you to these intriguing and majestic animals. There's nothing like seeing a killer whale up close and learning about them and their natural behaviors. We hope that this Orca Encounter will help you gain a greater appreciation for these incredible whales and all that they represent.
While they are found in every ocean, orcas living off the coast of Iceland are quite different than those near Costa Rica. In fact, there are at least 10 types, or ecotypes, of killer whales. An ecotype describes the differences between killer whale size, physical form, prey, social structure, and habitat. As you can see, the differences are subtle, but noticeable when compared side by side. Orcas are adapted perfectly to their environments. And even the whale's black and white coloration has a purpose. It camouflages the outline of their bodies in the water, making it easier for them to surprise and catch their prey. When viewed from above, the black of the whale blends in with the dark depths of the ocean. When viewed from below, the orca's white bellies match the brighter surface of the water, blending with the light above, giving them the perfect camouflage.
Killer whales really are a natural wonder, and Amaya is going to help me show you some of their physical characteristics. Their blowhole is perfectly designed for getting a quick breath at the surface. Even the location of her eyes works to her advantage. It looks like it's in that white patch, but that's a visual distraction. It's actually located at the corners of her mouth, camouflaged from thresh and prey. The fin on her back is called a dorsal fin, and this helps keep her stable while she swims and also helps regulate their body temperature. Sometimes if dorsal fins spend more time at the surface, gravity can help encourage them to one side. The flippers on either side of the killer whale's body are called pectoral flippers, and this helps them with steering and stopping. Inside the pectoral flippers are 5 bony digits, similar to the human hand. The lobes at the end of the killer whale's body are called tail flukes. This is the killer whale's engine, helping propel them up to speeds near 30 miles an hour, as fast as some of our speedboats. And they use the most power and gain the most speed when they're propelling their nearly 10,000-pound bodies out of the water.
Killer whales are highly social animals with a well-defined social structure. An orcapod is always led by a female. Though just half the size of her male counterpart, she is in charge. It's all about attitude, not size. Because they live and work as a group, orcas need to communicate with sounds and body language. Orcas use clicks for echolocation or navigation. Whistles to socialize in the pod. And calls for group coordination and hunting. Vocal vocal development studies here at SeaWorld show that early on, calves learn vocalization from their mothers. But as they grow, they learn from others close to them as well. This is a bottlenose dolphin call that Shuka learned and even taught other killer whales here at SeaWorld. In fact, orcas are the largest members of the dolphin family. Whales here and in the wild use vocalization to communicate all the time.
Like most animals, killer whales use body language as a form of communication. They'll use peck slaps to show their dominance or to get the attention of another animal. For example, a mother may use a peck slap to get her calf's attention. But when they really want to be heard, they breach. Spy hopping is when killer whales to coordinate and get a better view of their surroundings while they hunt. Fluke slaps is another form of communication that killer whales will use in the wild. Killer whales are great communicators, so it's no surprise that they're at the top of the ocean's food chain.
Killer whales work together to rear their young, protect their pod, and most importantly, pursue and catch their prey. Every day they cooperate to survive in the wild oceans of the world. The orca's hunting techniques are as varied as the whales themselves. Norwegian killer whales will circle herring, herding them together. The whales use sounds to coordinate with each other and to disorient the herring. With the fish confused and contained, the whales stun them with their powerful tail flukes, making for an easy meal.
Whales in the southern hemisphere will actually grab sea lions by pulling them right off the beach. Cooley and Amaya are going to demonstrate a similar movement right here in front of all of you. Whales in the Antarctic will actually create waves that wash over ice floes, knocking seals into the water. Ulysses is demonstrating the same wave-making technique, showcasing one of the many complex hunting strategies that killer whales have developed around the world. Now you just saw these waves crashing in front of all of you, but you really can't understand how powerful these waves are until you experience it firsthand. So luckily some of you are going to get to experience 55-degree saltwater. Hi guys, I'm looking at you. Here it comes. Now that was our smallest killer whale, Maya. Over here is her largest killer whale. This is also her father, Ulysses. How'd that feel, guys? It's cold, huh? Give yourselves a round of applause. Because killer whales live all around the world, it's no surprise they prey on a variety of different species, including other whales. The blue whale on the screen is the largest animal on Earth. It's 5 times longer and 50 times heavier than any of our killer whales. So how does an animal the size of a killer whale prey on something the size of a blue whale? It's possible because killer whales are the ultimate team players.
In this example, we see the larger male orcas surround a sperm whale, forming a perimeter, while the females continue to drive the whale forward until it reaches exhaustion. The calves then move in to join the adults in the group. Whatever their prey, killer whales always cooperate and hunt together, making them a highly successful predator.
Play is an important part of killer whale life. It's how they teach their young to hunt and practice their skills as they grow. You'll often see animals showing off their playful side. We see it here all the time. Porpoising is when an animal swims fast, breaking the surface briefly. Get a ride in the wake of a boat or when surfing in a wave. Killer whales like to be touched and will often rub their bellies on rocks when they can. We often see our animals doing similar rubbing behaviors, just like whales in British Columbia. In the wild, you'll often see animals imitating each other. We see it here at SeaWorld all the time. The whales are constantly mimicking and learning from one another. Behavior does have a purpose. A tail whip is used in hunting to stun fish, but today our whales might just be stunning some of you. We interact with our animals every day, which allows us to conduct research, provide healthcare, and quality of life. All the animals in our care are conditioned to participate in their own health and well-being. If you look across the way, Nakai is offering up his tail flicks to his behaviors. This is a very relaxing position that enables us to collect a blood sample. We get blood samples from our animals monthly to make sure that we're being proactive with their health. Our animals will even slide out onto a scale so we can track their weight. We weigh the whales weekly to make sure that the adult whales are staying at a healthy weight and that our younger whales are growing properly. We can even obtain a breath sample from their blowholes. All of this is possible because of the relationships we build day after day right here at SeaWorld. So joining me out here, I'd like to introduce all of you to Orchid. Orchid was the first killer whale born at SeaWorld San Diego, and she just celebrated her 32nd birthday. Orchid is a very fast learner, and she's also participated in a variety of research projects that have helped out her wild counterparts. Now, we challenge our animals every day to engage and stimulate their minds. Diet, exercise, and of course play helps keep all of our whales in great shape.
The whales here at SeaWorld have helped killer whales in the wild by participating in many research studies. One ongoing study monitors the whale's heart rate and breathing to understand how marine noise pollution from ship engines and other sources affect wild populations. In another study, scientists from NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, took measurements of the killer whales living here, including pregnant whales. By comparing these measurements with drone footage of killer whales in the wild, scientists are able to monitor the wild population's nutritional and reproductive states. Other research has been done here at SeaWorld on the mother whale's milk composition. This research will help create an effective model to understand how toxins in the ocean impact wild killer whales and their milk supply. What we learn from the whales in our care every day is actively helping whales in the wild survive. And just by being here today, you've supported our rescue, research, and conservation efforts all around the world. If we work together, like the killer whale, we can protect the future of the Orcinus orca and this beautiful planet that we all share.